So when you decide to have children, it's often when you are very young, relatively speaking. Probably if you're making the decision, you're in your 20s, possibly your 30s. If it's by accident, it's either of those ages and possibly even earlier or later. But when you decide to have children, when it's a conscious decision, you need to be fully aware of the consequences of that very momentous decision. And the reason why I'm making this journal right now is because, in my opinion, my divorce is cutting the time in half. I knew when we decided to have children that it was a 20-year decision. I had no illusions about that. I know how much effort and time my parents took to raise their children, and I was fully aware of how much effort and time they dedicated to me, and I was prepared to make that 20-year commitment to my children when I decided to have them. However, it has become obvious to me that through conversations with Jennifer, the consequences of that action, to quote a movie, really bummed her out. She apparently, well, I'm speculating, but she has made comments to me that said that she feels that the children take up more time than she is willing to give. That she is not able to do the things that she felt she wanted to do because of the fact that we have children. I always knew that my children would grow up someday, and that they would no longer need me. I did not realize that halfway through getting them to the point where they could take care of themselves, and getting them to the point where they did not need me, halfway through, I would lose my partner in raising them. And I am very sad about that right now. I look at the way Jennifer interacts with the kids, and I look at the way that Jennifer does things for herself. And it saddens me and it enrages me that she is so inwardly focused. I have watched her steadily ignore Kaya and the fact that Kaya's room is a mess for 2 weeks now. She told me 2 weeks ago, Jennifer did, that she was going to help all the children clean up their rooms. She spent time helping Benjamin clean his room and helping to move Kendall out into the living room so that Kendall had a space, Benjamin had a space. But because that weekend's time ran out, she just abandoned the project. And every time I have asked her to go and spend time with Kaya, cleaning the room, she has told me she will get to it. She has told me she is tired. She has told me she has other plans to go and see her boyfriend. Case in point is tonight. She spent time with Kendall, and I have no doubts that when I walk into this house, Jennifer will be sitting on the bed scrolling through her phone, and Kaya's room will still be a wreck. And Jennifer has told me that she has no plans on being here tomorrow to help Kaya. She plans to go to her boyfriend's house and spend time with him rather than her daughter. I've got all this weekend free, and I'll be watching the kids. I'll get to it then, she said to me today, in annoyance, when I mentioned to her for possibly the third or fourth time over the last 2 weeks that she still had not helped Kaya, and that Kaya was still waiting for her to help. In my mind, it is a crime to make your daughter stand there and wait for you to interact with her while you go off and see your new boyfriend. I hope that this lesson is directed at myself, and that in the future, when I begin to see other people, or I take a new interest, that I will remember that I am only halfway through raising my children. That it is not a 10-year project. It is a 20-year project. And that because I have made the decision to have them, they must come first. And that when that is over, I will be able to do whatever I want.
Just to observe what you guys do.